In an ordinary city we can see a girl and boy. They both have strange dreams and feel like they are missing something. They've felt this feeling ever since a special star fell. They both watched it at the same time. The girl wakes up from a dream. Her name is Mitsuha. She appears to look lost. Her sister checks up on her and tells her to get ready for breakfast. She goes to the mirror and checks herself out, and her reflection shocks her. At breakfast her family reveals that she was acting strange yesterday. She turns the news on and a comet that comes once every 1,200 years is coming next month. Mitsuha and her sister set for school. On her way to school, she encounters some of her friends, Katsuhiko and Sayaka. They also tell her how she was acting differently the day before. Her dad is mayor of the town, and when Mitsuha walks past he shouts at her to straighten her back. This makes her feel embarrassed. At school she finds a note in her books asking who she is. In class she called on and she replies. This shocks them as yesterday she didn't remember her name. During break her friends tell her how she forgot simple things yesterday like where her locker and desk is. She tells them she has been having weird dreams about someone else's life. Katsuhiko makes up a crazy theory about her having memories from a previous life. They walk through the town, and they complain how boring it is. Shops close early and there are no good shops. At home Mitsuha is knitting with her family. It's their tradition and they are doing it for an upcoming festival. Mitsuha is performing a dance with her sister, and the town is admiring them. At the end they spit rice into a box to create wine. A few of her classmates makes fun of her for this. Later she shouts out saying she hates the town and her life in it. She wants to live in Tokyo in her next life. We see a boy sluggishly wake up in his messy bedroom. His name is Taki, and he wakes up lost and confused. He checks himself out in the mirror, and is surprised at what he sees. His dad questions why he didn't cook breakfast as it was his turn. Before leaving the house, he tells him to go to school. He questions the strange dream he just had. He gets a notification from a friend called Tsukasa. He gets dressed and leaves his house. He then admires the view of the beautiful city. He walks through the town surprised he is in Tokyo. In school Taki looks lost until his friend Tsukasa approaches him. On their break he is talking to his friends. He says he got lost on his way to school which surprises him. They share their food with him and suggest they go to a cafe. This surprises him as he's never been to one. He checks the prices and thinks it's overpriced. However, since he believes that he is dreaming he is okay with it. He gets a notification saying he is late for work. He asks his friends where he works which surprises them. We see him working in a busy restaurant. He is rushed around the kitchen and given many orders. A rude customer complains about there being a toothpick in his pizza. Taki doesn't know what to do so another girl called Miki takes over. She offers them the meal for free however the guy pulls out a blade. Later they notice that her skirt has been cut. Taki takes her to an office. He then patches it up for her. She thanks him and comments how she didn't know he had a feminine side. Now laying in bed he questions how real his dream feels. He gets a flashback to the note asking who are you. So, he writes on his hand Mitsuha. He falls asleep and wakes up confused. At school whilst talking to his friends they make a joke about him not knowing where his work is. This confuses him. His other male coworkers confront him about the riz he did on Miki. He also claims to have memories on this. Mitsuha also wakes up and is confused to find writing on her hand. At school people stare at her, as she made a scene yesterday. They were talking badly about her dad, so she kicked a table over. She has no memories of this. Looking through the calendar both Mitsuha and Taki realize that they have been swapping lives which shocks them. Taki is in high school and lives in Tokyo and Mitsuha is in rural Japan. 2 to 3 times a week they swap places during their sleep. The memories of the switch are unclear, but other people's reactions are proof that it is real. They both made rules to protect each other's lives. They also leave daily reports of their days for each other. Taki and Mitsuha's body wakes up. They go on a walk to a shrine. After a long hike they reach the shrine. She places alcohol underneath it as an offering. He wakes up back in his body and has a message from Miki. Mitsuha has planned a date for him with her which surprises him. He rushes there as he is running late. We see Mitsuha thinking about the date she set up for Taki. He is quite awkward on the date, and Mitsuha saw this happening. So, she left some links that will help him. He sees a picture of the shrine that he saw whilst living Mitsuha's life. Miki catches on and claims that Taki is like another person. She decides to call off the date early. He tries to call Mitsuha but no one answers. Mitsuha meets up with her friends to go to a comet event. She spots it and it's beautiful. The switches have stopped happening, so he now wants to travel to meet Mitsuha. His friends join him out of fear he is being catfished. He has no way of contacting her, and only has a rough idea of where she is. After speaking to the locals and going around town, he ends up at a bus stop and believes that finding her is a lost cause. They go to a restaurant getting ready to go home. The waiter notices Taki has a drawing of a place called oreiy. They tell them that the place was destroyed by a comet shower. He goes to the place and sees the destruction. His friends tell him that it happened 3 years ago, and hundreds of people died. He doesn't believe it and checks his phone. Everything she wrote has disappeared. They go home and do more research on the incident. In a book of casualties, he finds Mitsuha's name there, confirming she did die that day. Now feeling defeated, he starts to believe that everything was just a dream. A bracelet on his wrist gives him hope that it wasn't just a dream. The next day he leaves a note to his friends telling them he must go somewhere, and that they should go back to Tokyo without him. An old man drops him off in a forest. He's working hard trying to figure out where the shrine is. He finds it and is happy. He visits the shrine. He drinks the alcohol he left beside the shrine and wishes for one more body switch. He trips and sees that the ceiling has a comet drawing. This triggers a flashback. We see Mitsuha's whole life story from the death of her mother to the end, where we see the comet striking. He then wakes up back in Mitsuha's body. She speaks to the grandmother, and she knows she isn't really Mitsuha. She claims she had the same experiences as her when she was younger. She tells her that the comet coming today is going to kill everyone, but she doesn't take it seriously. At school, she tells her friends about the situation. Katsuhiko has hacked into the town's speakers. They are going to make a bomb to evacuate the town. However, they need the message to come from town hall for the people to take it seriously. She speaks to her father, who is the president, and he calls her crazy. She grabs his tie in anger, and this makes him question who she really is. Her little sister reveals that she went to Tokyo yesterday, which surprises her. Her friends approach her asking how the plan is going. She steals Katsuhiko's bike, believing that Taki might be at the shrine. Mitsuha in Taki's body wakes up. He leaves the shrine and sees that the town is gone. He realizes that he died. A flashback shows Mitsuha trying to find Taki. She travels to Tokyo and tries calling him, however there is no answers. On a busy train she finds Taki, however he doesn't react to her presence. She calls him by his name, but he has no memories of her. She is about to leave, so he asks for her name. She says it's Mitsuha and gives him the wristband. At the present they are both at the shrine. He returns her wrist bracelet, and they both joke with each other. Taki tells her that she still must save her town. Before she leaves, he writes their names on each other's hand. She disappears and he is now on his own. He is about to write her name on his hand, but he forgot her name. Back to Mitsuha, she is with Katsuhiko. They break into a power plant to plant the bombs. They ride off and set off the explosions. All the power goes out. They then broadcast the evacuation message. Still, no one is taking it seriously, so Katsuhiko tells Mitsuha to convince her dad to bring in the firefighters. Katsuhiko gets caught, and the plan is ruined. The comet begins to split into several pieces. Mitsuha is running and is giving up. She trips and falls. A message saying "I love you" is on her hand. She reaches her dad just as the comet is about to hit. A massive explosion goes off, destroying the town. Taki wakes up at the shrine confused and lost. On his way home he sees a girl and he believes he remembers her. It's not who he thinks it is, making him question himself as he believes he is searching for something. Reading the news about the comet event, it's different, as now it says a random evacuation drill saved everyone. Whilst on the train he spots Mitsuha and realizes that she is what he has been searching for. They later meet up. They walk past each other, as they don't remember each other. However, Taki asks for your name. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed, subscribe and join my Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, look out and take care.